Hello and welcome back to Quick's Paradigm. This is our Saturday morning live stream, and we are just going to be playing around in our test world, trying to earn a little bit of money and get a basic ram drill set up. Also set up an auto harvester for our manual mining. Then we're going to try to make lots of money and maybe even buy a new plot of land. So that's the plan today. Just gonna hang out and do some mining. If you would like to follow along, that'd be great. Once we finally get everything caught up and saved here, with lots of money and stuff, I'm gonna use this world to create videos where I test different things out, like conveyor speed, pressure, mining rates, which drills better over a short amount of time, which drills better over a long amount of time. Alright, as you can see, I have a basic setup, but it just is a sorter right now. Sorts the iron and the gold for me. Sorry, I had to cough there. And then I just have our hole that we're going down and digging in. I think this is just some basic iron I was doing some tests with. Alright, well, let's get to making some money. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know. I was actually having a little bit of issue where I was dropping the buckets of dirt on the conveyor belt and they were disappearing. Well, then I realized that the bucket is just picking them back up. I didn't know that the little buckets will automatically pick up dirt that they're near. Right, so I had my bucket of dirt. Show you what it was doing. I was actually having a little bit of issue down here on bedrock, where I was dropping the buckets of dirt on the conveyor belt. Fill up a couple of these so we can run through them. Well, then I realized that the bucket is just picking them back up. Now I know right now with the harvester, the yields may not be as much as they would be if I hand wash these buckets. But I think I'm going to be able to go through so many more buckets that it will make up the difference. Alright. Yeah, I was bringing the buckets up here, getting on the conveyor belt, dumping them out, and then the dirt was going away. I was like, where'd the dirt go? And you see I can't see in my bucket, so I was just dumping it out, it was disappearing. So now I kind of had to dump it out in another way so it'll actually go in the harvester. But our sorters are doing pretty good getting stuff in the bucket. And the reason I'm getting so lucky there is because I have the harvester on a separate line than I have my conveyors. So my conveyors are actually running a little slower than they normally would because I like slow conveyor belts. I just feel like they run smoother. There's less issues with a slower conveyor belt. But of course the ram drill does better the more pressure you give it. So we have one shard right now and one pressure box. So we're going to go ahead and lock all this stuff in place so I don't mess with it. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get the shard in here and give this thing more pressure. Now what I don't know is, does it continuously use up the shard? Or if I turn the water off, does it stop using the shard. So I don't know that. So, but we have all our buckets ready to go. So what I'm probably gonna do is add a valve, and then we will turn this on and off as we get our buckets full. Turn it on, empty our buckets, turn it off until we get the rest of our setup ready to go. I also would like to get a saw. Oh, I need another cork too. I will take care of that cork ASAP. Alright. Hang on just a second. I will take care of that cork ASAP. Sorry, I could hear myself on Twitter. I did not want to hear myself. Okay. So let's empty our buckets. Get a little money. I need to get a cork really bad. I'm going to go see if I have enough money to buy a cork. How did that get up there? Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay. This is all the stuff that I ran up the conveyor belt because I thought I was going to sort it, and it just sits up here. See guys, this is why I live stream, so I don't make those mistakes when I'm making a video. Yep, we're buying a cork. Buying a cork. Yeah, I think that's all we needed to get started here. All these little things to get set up. Oh, I had it. Yes. Cork is in. Yeah. Automatic harvesting. See, why can't I pick it up now? The bucket, I want to pick it up now. Oh, there we go. Wow, that is really finicky. I don't know how. I don't know an easy way of doing that. Maybe look to the side? Yeah, maybe that's the answer. But I'd eventually like to run the conveyor belt down here so I can just shovelfuls of dirt right onto the conveyor belt. Come here. While also having a ram drill set up so it will automatically harvest. This next bucket, I want to see what's coming out of there because yeah, those are pretty big nuggets. So adding that pressure on there definitely helped. Now, that's not max pressure because it comes out at 50% from the intake, and then you'll have only 25% from the pressure booster. So what we really need is 2 pressure boosters and 2 shards. But we have not gotten any shards yet, so what I could do is I could smelt down this shard. Oh, I thought I saw a gem or a nugget, but I did not. Is that shard already gone? I thought those huge shards lasted a lot longer than that. Am I going crazy here? I definitely need a pressure gauge. Oh, there's my shard right there. The heck? How did that happen? So anyway, if we smelt up the golden stuff that we have now and make like a necklace or a ring, we could probably get another pressure tank. And have a couple gems. They're just really tiny. Get another pressure tank. And what else do we need to get started? We could add another sorter, but your gems and power crystals are easy to sort because you don't get as many of those. One more pressure tank. And that might be it. Oh, I want to get a saw. The reason, I'll show you the reason I want a saw once we get to that spot. I had this guy set up over here, but it was impeding our progress, so I'm just going to set it down on the ground right here for right now. I like how they added that the jewels just stay in your hand when you cut them. That's a nice touch. Let's see. I'll probably just make a big ring for now, and then we'll grab the saw. So the reason I want the saw is because you can just put all your gold in a crucible, right? Then you smelt 1 bar. You take the saw, you cut it in half, and now you can make a necklace with 2 even bars. You don't have to worry about how much gold you put in per bar for the necklaces and all that kind of stuff. I am also going to buy some more crucibles so that we can just put our crucibles underneath there. So while that's smelting, I'm going to go ahead and mine up the next round of dirt. No sense in waiting around. All right. All right. Oh, got another bucket up here. So much banging. Okay. That should be ready to go. And we can heat up our bar. We can throw our bar across the map. Alright, that should heat it up. And I think we have a pretty good sized gym over here. At least it's bigger than the ones in the other bucket. There we go. We'll just lay that on there and we'll pick a ring. Grab that. It'd help if the bar would stay on the anvil. There we go. And there we go, guys. We have a ring. I don't know how much money this will be, but that was 2 or 3 rounds of buckets going in, so I imagine it's going to be a pretty good price. I just want to weigh it first. Oh my gosh. Alright, so this says it's 46.35 pounds or ounces, worth about $1,200. I might be able to get more than that at the stock market, but that'll be plenty of money to get us started today. I'm going to check these stock markets. If they're down, I'm going to go ahead and go down to the other market on the way to the town that we need to buy the supplies from. Oh, rings are up. All right, well, we'll go ahead and throw this ring on here. 12.12. So not really that much more than what the scale said, which I'm assuming is equal to the jeweler's price. Something else I want to test out is the cost of the materials or the value of the materials you put in to the systems compared to their real value when you sell them at the store. I may have to fill up some water here. Like I said, we'll work on grabbing a power shard, pipe, and a pressure gauge, and a saw. I don't know how much all that's going to cost, but figured that'd be a good little haul. Alright, that's the furniture store. Here's the equipment store. Get my gold out of here. My hydro bucks. There we go. Drop that in there. Drop that in there. Said I wanted a couple of crucibles. Okay. Oh, our pressure gauge. Are we gonna need any spanners yet? I think we're pretty much good on everything else. I'm gonna buy a couple of scales. I want to test something out. 850. All right. Well, that gives us a little bit of spending money in case we want to buy some more pipes and buckets and stuff like that. But let's get this back and get it all hooked up so we can go through our second round of buckets. Oh, come on. I'm only going to stream for about an hour today. Got some things to take care of this morning. But I'm hoping we can at least get the basic setup going so that we can use it to make quite a bit of money. Alright, that is it. After this next round, I'm hoping to get enough conveyor belts and stuff that we can set up one ram drill and get the stuff down into the mine so that I can start putting dirt straight in without having to come up with buckets. That'll make things a lot quicker. If I can just shovel dirt in there, we'd be making so much money. Those are the strongest light poles I have ever seen. I mean, I've seen people hit light poles in real life, and they were not still standing after the fact. Alright. I'm going to put this somewhere because I feel like the game lags less if you actually have stuff sitting in a location or installed, not just laying on the ground. So the things I want to try with the scales, and I don't know, the system may not be tall enough. I'm going to go buy a foundation. Now, I've seen people try to put buckets of gold and iron and stuff on the scale, and the bucket, you couldn't register the amount of the stuff in the bucket. What I found out is that's only if the items are already in the bucket when you put it on the scale. If you put the bucket on the scale and then put the items in the bucket, oh, I guess I didn't need a foundation. What happens is the scale will then register how much is in it. So we're going to try that out with the automated system. I just want to see how I want to do this though, because the scale kind of sits off to an angle, and I don't know if the crucible is going to be able to sit just right to catch the stuff. Alright, well, we'll see if it catches the stuff and see if it registers on the scale. So let's do, let's go ahead and get our stuff set up. I don't want to get too far out of whack here. We'll turn our power shard into a bar, and we will grab our pressure tank and our pressure gauge. Okay, so I need to move this back too. That's one. Get down there. Two. And I guess I will, come on. Set these things up to open the other direction. All right. So now my pressure is at 50%. So I should be able to take the saw, saw that guy in half, and now I have two cute little pressure bars. I'm going to grab this guy and replace this bucket with a crucible. Right about there. Yeah, I think that should work. And we'll just set this over here so we can refine it in a minute. Put this in my tool chest. Grab one of our bars. There we go. Oh yeah, full pressure. Look at that. Alright, I'm going to sleep through the night, and then we're going to get this thing running. And we'll run it for a few minutes before I got to get off here. I'm going to lock all this stuff in place so I don't actually pick it up. Alright, looks like everything's in place. Let's get to mining. Put our first bucket in there. Oh. Alright, we had gold go in there. What does this say? Oh, it still says 0. I don't know. May just be an issue of the scale itself. See if we place it. Like this. See, if I put this piece of gold in it, it'll register that I put this piece of gold in it. And it'll tell me how much is in there. But I don't think that's close enough to the... maybe that is. Maybe a little bit further to the front. That looks pretty good. We'll try 1 bucket worth with it sitting there. Oh yeah, look at the scale. That is awesome. So the other thing to realize is that what was I going to say? Oh, that it doesn't register the stuff that's already in there. So you kind of got to have this stuff set up ahead of time. But yeah, that is pretty slick. So we'll definitely be doing that on our Let's Play. It seems like the sorters have started putting stuff out slower. I don't know if you saw that. That's so cool. Look at our scale. Ah, that's so awesome. So obviously with the ram drill, I'm going to get a lot less results than I'm getting even just doing it manually. But having something that is just drilling away while you're shoveling and playing with stuff on the dig site is so advantageous that it doesn't really matter. Anytime you can get passive income in real life or a game, you definitely want to take advantage of it. Alright, we'll put us back on the tool rack. We'll shut the water off. Look, those bars are still pretty big size too. That's awesome. We got a lot of stuff. This says 44 ounces already, 752 Hydroneer bucks. So, and holy smokes, look at that gemstone. Wow, that is awesome. That's going to make a very nice necklace. Alright, well, we'll go through one more round. I do want to jump over to the store. There was one more thing I wanted to buy that I didn't quite get a chance to. We are so low on water. Let me just get one bucket of water so I can make sure we get there and back. And I'll throw my bucket in the back. I also want to get one of those fish trophy things. I've been fishing out some really big fish. And it'd be cool to hang one of those up. In our Let's Play, we'll definitely be building kind of a little house and a workshop and kind of an industrial building for the mine and those types of things. So there will be a little bit of building and creative, but I really like the testing aspect of this game where you kind of test some of the features and how things work as far as mining and profitability, keeping track of things. So little neat things like the scale. I haven't seen anybody be able to use the buckets in videos. Maybe there have been and I just don't watch them, but it was definitely cool seeing that work. So I need the furniture store. I'm going to grab a window so we can see into our, not a table, a window. So having that scale thing works. Kind of makes me want to raise everything up one level. But I think I'll just wait until we move this whole setup to on land and have the ram drill and all that set up. I only set that up on the river like that because that was the most convenient and cheapest way to set it up with the water sources, since you literally only need the intake and you can go straight into your stuff. Hey Jellyfingers, thanks for stopping by and saying hello. I'm glad you could make it. Glad you're enjoying the videos. I hope that I can get a lot of cool stuff coming out that I haven't seen other YouTubers doing, as well as the regular fun stuff of just getting a base set up, those kind of things. So I'm going to take this guy out and see if I can replace it with a window. Come on. There we go. Now we might be able to see things as they go in. That would be kind of cool. I'm just going to set this over here out of the way. And we'll go ahead and start digging some more buckets. Hey Ziv, how's it going? Yeah, I do use the unstuck feature or the return vehicle feature to get back and forth, but it's such a habit to just want to drive along the roads. Is that all my buckets? Must be. Oh, I guess I need to turn it on. There we go. Grab our dirt and drop it back on here. Oh, it happens so quickly. But it's so cool that our scale's telling us how much is in there. That is awesome. I really like that angled corrugated because it really just throws it straight down onto the conveyor belt. Did I get it back in the bucket? Oh no, it fell down here. My bad. I think I actually got it on the stairs and not on the actual conveyor belt. I'm hoping to get a couple more power shards. Uh-oh. That's what I was worried about, doing it over the water, but we'll still be able to pick those up and clean them up. I'm not really worried about it. Did I miss again? Yep, that was totally me. Oh goodness. It was doing so good. I wonder what happened. Oh, well. This would be a pain in the butt. There we go. Should be able to put this right back in its spot here. Come on, go in there. Oh, no. Actually, I think it's just right there. Okay. Still only have the one gem. We have quite a bit of metal and a little bit of gold. But the cool thing is, we can see how much gold we have in the bucket. So, it's pretty nice. I think the bucket actually moved a little bit. That's part of the problem. But that is all of our dirt for this round. I think I'm going to go ahead and make a necklace out of our gold. Well, You know, let's do one more round. It's quick. And the bigger the necklace, the more money we can make, right? Yeah, I mean that's on the to-do list. The problem is every layer you add goes higher and higher. So if I want it out of the water, that's another layer up, right? So you'll have scale, then crucible, and then a funnel, and then your sorter. So I need to like have 4 or 5 conveyor belts. So that is all in the plan when I start building a more permanent system over here with the ram drills and stuff, is to have a setup that kind of goes higher in the air, so we can have funnels and scales under each crucible and that kind of thing. So that is definitely the plan. We just got to have money, money, money. Because everything costs money in this game. And it is not cheap. You know, once we're making... Really. Once we're making a few $1,000 a necklace, then, you know, things will be a much easier process. I feel like I'm missing some buckets. Oh well. See, I can't even see it through the window. It's coming out so quick. That's cool. Everything seems to be working, at least. That's a good sign. Oh yeah, Ziv. I definitely want... I want 2 stations here at the first plot, at least. One ram drill station, and then one where I can manually put some dirt on as well, just to maximize our profits. But then we're going to buy a new plot eventually, and we'll have a much, much more permanent setup. Yes! That was a power gem, and it was huge. Alright, well that's all my buckets empty. Let's look and see. It's hard to see the scale from here now. Yeah, I can't really read that. See if the daylight helps. And I will get my lantern and bring light over here. I think the nuggets have kind of moved the crucible around. I'm definitely going to have to move everything up one. But it's cool to know that it works. At least then I'll be able to use that strategy when I build a bigger mine. Oops. Let's go ahead and set this on here. Let that melt. We'll grab our metal, and we'll also throw our other metal in here that we mined earlier. Yeah, and since I'm trying to keep my stream world and my Let's Play separate, I'm going to have a lot of things set up my stream world that is really just to streamline the money making process so that we can have as much money as we want to test things and move things around and buy all the plots and have plenty of room, plenty of pipes. Because I do want to test things like we did with this, the soil and where you dig. I want to test pressure in the pipes, how long the little bars last, how much piping you should use for different setups, what the optimal speed for your conveyor belts is so that they fall in certain places. There's a lot of things I want to test and try out that we'll need lots of money for. Alright, so I'm going to cut this bar in half. Come on. And that's going to give us our necklace. So I'm going to go ahead and weigh these and see how much they are each. 53 ounces each. About 1,062. Let's see. Oh, I need to warm them up. Yeah, Ziv, so what we were doing earlier is, if you just put a bucket on a scale, it doesn't show anything, right? Crucible's the same way. If I just grab a crucible that's empty, well, I'll take one that's full. So this one's full of iron, Ziv. Where'd my iron go? Oh, I have so many crucibles now. So this one's full of iron. If I just put it on the scale, nothing happens, right? If I get another piece of iron and I add it to it, whatever I added after the crucible was already on the scale shows up. So the plan is to have a platform, then have the scale, and then have the crucible, and then have the sorter. The problem is getting the crucible onto the scale in the right angle so that the sorter still spits the nuggets into the crucible properly. Which is also why I have my conveyor belts on a separate system than the harvester, because I want the harvester with high pressure and I want my belts to have low pressure. But that's all that was. I know that it works a lot better on the ground than it does the scale, but we were just testing to see if that would actually work. So there you go. Alright, so I gotta get these gold bars heated up. Well, I'll leave those in there. I need to cut this gem. I'm going to use this big, huge blue gem right here. Cut it with the grinder. Throw it on there. Yeah, I need to get closer. If you drop them too high, they like to bounce. Alright. And give it a whack. Awesome. So there's a necklace, and then we will make a couple of things with our iron. I have little iron chunks everywhere because I was silly earlier and tried to put them in our harvester. And what I could also do is I could take our power shard bars and our new crystal, smelt them all together, and then that will let me use the saw again and just keep adding to them. Or I could just melt the new crystal, cut it in half with the thing, and add it to the other ones. But alright. I think I want to make a sword. Come on. With this guy. But I kind of want the pieces to be even. I don't know if that really matters. What is this? Well, this has a gemstone in it. I'm going to weigh the 3 pieces. Then I'm going to weigh the sword and see what the difference is. To see if they need to be even pieces or if they can be odd pieces. So the total weight of this is 58. But yeah, I want to get a better setup. I want to have a crucible for bars. I want to have a furnace for bars, a furnace for the crucibles. Have a couple of different furnaces so you can be melting gold and iron and bars and stuff all at the same time. A whole blacksmithing workshop, but all in due time. And one sword. I do not think this is going to work. 58. So it didn't matter how the metal was distributed in the bars. So that's kind of nice. I don't think this stuff will fit in the bucket. Yeah, okay. We'll go check out top first, and then if not, we'll drive down to the other area. We know the necklace is at least 2,000 because that's how much just the gold bars by themselves were worth. Oh yeah, look at that, 3,000 at the jeweler. We'll walk right over here and see if prices are up or down. And prices are down. Yeah, so we'll take that over to the other stock market and see if we can get better prices for it. And we'll also get our bed so we can sleep if not. Alright, and this guy, 988. That's pretty good for a sword. I've seen a lot bigger swords, but I haven't been getting very much iron. But even the swords are down. 922. Okay. To the other stock market we go. Yeah, I'm gonna grab my bed before I head over to the frozen tundra. Hang on just a second. Hey guys, well I actually found out that I need to get off of here early, so I'm gonna call it here. But I appreciate you guys coming and joining me, and I hope to do more with this setup. And I hope you come back. Thank you for all the tips and saying hello. I will see you guys later.